Oh, hi! You're wondering about this piece? Sure, I can tell you all about it. I'm Dion, by the way. This is a painting, A Bar at the Folies-Bergère, painted by Edouard Manet.
Bonjour, that's me.
Here at the Courtauld Institute of Art, the bar at the Folies-Bergère is found with two other paintings by Manet, which can be seen to the left. The Banks of Seine at Argenteuil and Le Déjeuner sur Herbe. The painting measures 96 centimeters by 130 centimeters and is an oil painting on canvas painted by Manet in 1882.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, I think Edouard Manet would like to say something. Bonjour, je m'appelle Edouard Manet. You know, before I painted all 420 of my paintings and became known as one of the founding fathers of modern art, my parents wanted me to become a lawyer. As a family in the bourgeoisie, my interests in art were looked down upon. So to please my parents, I agreed to join the Naval Academy. But I might have failed the entrance exam twice. So eventually, I was allowed to attend an art school in Paris, and at the age of 24, I opened my own art studio. All I wanted as an artist was to be accepted into the Paris Salon. So I submitted this painting, The Absinthe Drinker, which was then rejected, along with many of my other paintings. It's okay, Manet. Edouard Manet's style was clearly very different from other painters at the time. Paintings accepted into the Paris Salon were usually of historical or biblical importance, whereas Manet's were of ordinary people doing their ordinary life things. He also emphasized taboo subjects like prostitutes, which can be seen in the bar at the Folies-Bergère. The painting depicts a barmaid working at a bar at the Folies-Bergère, which is a music hall and entertainment theater in Paris. In the corner here, you can see the 2 feet of a trapeze artist performing on a swing for the audience sitting at the theater. The barmaid herself was painted based off of a real barmaid working at the Folies-Bergère. She is also seen in another painting by Manet called Model for the Barmaid of the Bar at the Folies-Bergère. It is believed that the barmaid was also a prostitute, as the Folies-Bergère was well known for being a place where men would go to pick up prostitutes. The bowl of tangerines seen on the counter is believed to symbolize prostitution, as Manet is known to include oranges in his other paintings of prostitutes, like Le Déjeuner sur Herbe. In the reflection seen in the mirror behind the barmaid, we see the barmaid interacting with the man in a possibly seductive manner as she is leaning forward. This suggests that the barmaid is knowledgeable of how to engage with men and is willing to interact with them. However, the frontal view of the barmaid that we get to see in the painting could say otherwise. Bar at the Folies-Bergère is most known for the barmaid's facial expression. Despite the flirtatious posture she presents in the painting, her face looks rather melancholy. It appears that the barmaid is distracted, withdrawn, and unhappy with her job. Additionally, the barmaid seems to be wearing a locket necklace. This implies that there is a loved one that exists outside of her promiscuous job. Now, if you look at the reflection in the mirror again, you'll see that the reflection of the barmaid and the man do not line up with that of the viewer's point of view. The viewer's point of view is in the center, looking straight at the barmaid. However, the reflections of the barmaid and the man are way too far to the right. It can be inferred that Manet painted this piece from his point of view, from sitting left of the bar and watching the barmaid's interaction from the corner of his eye. He then painted the barmaid from the point of view of someone standing before her to emphasize the deep hopelessness in her expression. This is the initial sketch of the painting that Manet made. It shows the barmaid facing away from the viewer with a more logical reflection in the mirror. Under X-ray scans of a bar at the Folies-Bergère, it was found that Manet originally painted the barmaid with a similar stance to his original sketch, with her arms crossed in front of her, right here. This displays a more vulnerable image. However, he later covered it up with the straight arms of the barmaid we see in the painting today. Edouard Manet used contradicting perspectives to depict two sides of Suzanne, a flirtatious barmaid and a hardworking woman lost in her job. Now let me bring in Edouard Manet himself to describe how he created this beautiful painting. Bonjour! I indeed am one of the painters that link the period of realism and Impressionism. I enjoy painting gypsies and beggars and drinkers and prostitutes. However, people in Europe in the 1800s didn't seem to enjoy it as much as I do. They were way more interested in romanticism and seeing all the ideal beauties with perfect proportions. I always painted to depict real-life scenarios, and with the techniques that I used to do this, I became known as an Impressionist painter. There's no symmetry in nature. One eye is never exactly the same as the other. There's always a difference. We all have a more or less crooked nose and an irregular mouth. I want to capture the momentary scene that you catch with your eye when you look at someone, and then put that impression that it gave you onto a canvas. To do this, I painted Bar at the Follies and my other paintings en plein air, meaning outside or at the location of the scene. I made my initial sketches of the painting at the bar itself, then finished it off at my studio. I used light feathery brushstrokes with a lighting palette with black to show the effects of light, shadow, and movement. You would hardly believe how difficult it is to place a figure alone on a canvas and to concentrate all the interest on this single and universal figure and still keep it living and real. Isn't that so cool? Au revoir! Wow, that was so cool, wasn't it? As you can see, Bar at the Folies-Bergère is quite an interesting and complex painting. It showcases the difficult life of a barmaid working to please men in order to make a living, while demonstrating a new dawn in history, a shift from the Renaissance and Romanticism to Realism, Impressionism, and the beginnings of modern art. I'm so glad to have taught you about Bar at the Folies-Bergère. Come again next time. Bye!